in here to Clay and Buck. A horrific story out of Chicago, and we need to have a discussion about it. Because, first of all, the media is up to their usual nonsense with what they're willing to say, what they focus on. But let me give you the basics of the case here. A woman, a white woman, in Sill, Orange. The Loop. I don't know Chicago well, so this is not a city I can speak to with a lot of personal knowledge. Chicago L train. She was just completely minding her own business, and this guy walked over to her, sprayed her with a bunch of flammable liquid, and lit her on fire. About as horrifying a thing as any of us could think would happen to anyone in America on any given day. About as evil, grotesque, and depraved as anything you will hear or read about. And it should affect all of us, because we can't have a society where this kind of thing happens. And you think about where, let's say, the Democrat Party, the left in this country, where they will consolidate their outrage, what really gets them upset. The coverage of this incident, as opposed to, say, the coverage of the hoax, Jussie Smollett, they put a noose around my neck and said mean things to me. Think about the difference there. Think about the difference. From the Chicago Tribune, from the New York Times, the Washington Post, CNN, all of them. Which one seemed like a bigger deal to them based on, you had the biggest names in Democrat politics weighing in. Another incident in Chicago, right? I'm trying to compare. Another moment in Chicago where something we were told ugly happened. It didn't actually happen at all, and it was obvious from the start, but it was not even the same universe of the ugliness of this. Okay? He had like a mild bruise under one eye that he gave himself. So, you know, but what was more upsetting to the Democrat intelligentsia? What was more worthy of your time as a consumer of news, according to CNN, according to the New York Times in this place? We all know the answer. Well, here is the mayor of Chicago weighing in on this. And remember, the fact that he was elected should just be upsetting to anybody. Chicago has a violence problem, and they elected the guy with the worst ideas, the least accountability for the criminals, the least accountability for the failures of policing and the system. He's just going to make it worse. Just going to make it worse. And he has been making it. Well, here he is, though, when you have a woman sitting there lit on fire, and this is cut 11. Play.
What I can say is that as awful and as horrific as this tragedy is, this is an isolated incident. As we continue to invest more in our public transportation system, we want people to feel safe as they ride. And so many working people rely on our public transportation system across the city, and that's why I'm doing my part to ensure that these investments are getting right to the people.
Investments? He's talking about investment? The woman was lit on fire. And he's talking about making sure that we're redistributing the wealth to, communities in need or whatever. This guy's he is totally an idiot.